Blackheads are one of the most common forms of acne, and preventing them usually depends much more on patience and consistency than on harsh treatments or dramatic home experiments. A blackhead forms when oil, dead skin cells, and debris collect inside a pore, and the surface of that clogged material is exposed to air, which causes it to darken. So prevention is mostly about keeping pores from filling up so easily, while also protecting the skin from unnecessary irritation. A gentle routine is usually the smartest routine. Wash your face with a mild cleanser and lukewarm water in the morning and again at night, and if you sweat heavily after exercise, outdoor work, or a hot day, it makes sense to cleanse afterward in a calm, gentle way, instead of letting sweat, sunscreen, and oil sit on your skin for hours. What usually does not help is scrubbing hard, washing over and over all day, rubbing the face with rough cloths, or treating blackheads as if they were dirt that could simply be sanded away. In many cases, too much friction only leaves the skin red, tight, and irritated while the clogged pores remain unimpressed. It is also important not to squeeze, pinch, scrape, or dig at blackheads with fingernails or random tools at home, because that can increase inflammation and raise the chance of broken skin, lingering marks, and sometimes scarring. Choose skincare, makeup, sunscreen, and hair products that are labeled non-comedogenic, oil-free, or water-based when possible, because greasy or heavy products can make pore congestion worse. If you use pomades, waxes, or oily leave-in hair products, try to keep them away from the forehead, temples, and sides of the face, because those areas often react badly to residue. Remove makeup completely before bed. Change pillowcases and face towels regularly, and try not to spend the day pressing your cheek into your hand while reading, scrolling, or watching television. If your skin tolerates active ingredients, salicylic acid can help loosen dead skin and reduce pore buildup, and adapalene can also be useful because it helps keep pores from clogging over time. But the key is to start slowly. Use one main active product at a time, and stay steady, rather than attacking your face with 4 new products in one irritated weekend. A lightweight moisturizer can still help even if your skin is oily, because dehydrated, irritated skin often becomes harder to manage, and sunscreen matters too, especially if you use exfoliating or retinoid-type products. So finding a comfortable, non-greasy sunscreen is worth the effort. Prevention is usually boring in the best way. Gentle cleansing, sensible products, consistency, and leaving the skin alone often enough to let it behave. Improvement can take time, so think of blackhead prevention as regular maintenance rather than punishment. And if acne becomes painful, deep, widespread, or starts leaving dark marks or scars, it is wiser to get professional guidance than to keep improvising in frustration. Now that the sensible skin part is out of the way, let us leave the bathroom mirror behind and travel to a retirement community in the United States, where nobody had much interest in salicylic acid, but everybody had very strong feelings about fruit salad, raffle prizes, and the correct way to fold a napkin for a luncheon that was supposedly casual. The place was called Willow Creek Meadows, a cheerful retirement neighborhood outside Columbus, Ohio, where the streets were named after trees. The lawns were clipped with military dignity, and the clubhouse calendar had the sort of intensity that made newly retired people wonder whether they had accidentally joined a university. There was chair yoga on Mondays, bridge on Tuesdays, storytelling on Wednesdays, bingo on Thursdays, and every Friday afternoon, the famous Good Neighbor Social, which involved potluck dishes, light music, coffee so strong it could restart a lawn tractor, and one ceremonial award called the Golden Apron. The Golden Apron was not made of gold, and it was not even truly an apron so much as a small kitchen apron spray-painted metallic yellow and mounted on a wooden plaque, but none of that mattered. Whoever won it for the week got their photograph pinned to the bulletin board and enjoyed 7 full days of community admiration, mild jealousy, and at least 2 conversations that began with the phrase, "well deserved," though the tone in which those words were spoken varied significantly. The reigning holder of the Golden Apron was 75-year-old Harriet Bloom, a retired elementary school music teacher with silver curls, crisp floral blouses, and the bright, practical energy of a woman who had spent decades coaxing order out of children carrying recorders. Harriet lived in Cottage 9 with a porch full of geraniums, a cookie tin that was never entirely empty, and a cat named Biscuit, who believed in upholstery ownership as a political principle. Her closest friend in Willow Creek Meadows was Walter Finch, age 79, widower, former hardware store owner, gentle pessimist, and enthusiastic consumer of anything made with cinnamon. Walter wore suspenders with ducks on them, white sneakers, and a face that looked as though it was naturally arranged into mild suspicion, though, in truth, he was a soft-hearted man who simply believed experience had earned him the right to be skeptical of banners, electric carving knives, and any sentence that began with, "Trust me." On the first Friday in May, Harriet arrived at the clubhouse, carrying a peach cobbler, and found the front hall already vibrating with low-grade confusion. Margot Dean, the hospitality chair, was aligning paper napkins into little fans with the concentration of a brain surgeon. Phil Kramer stood on a chair trying to hang a sign that read, "Spring Good Neighbor Social," though the letter G had peeled loose and now dangled in a way that made the whole banner look faintly disappointed. And at the reception desk stood Elise, the 33-year-old activities coordinator, holding a stapler and a clipboard while wearing the brave, hollow look of a young woman who had not expected to spend a significant portion of adulthood arbitrating whether pasta salad belonged beside tuna casserole or across from it for reasons of emotional temperature. Harriet set down the cobbler. "Who's upset?" she asked. Elise looked up gratefully. "No one yet, but Mr. Chalmers says the raffle basket table should be moved 3 feet to the left because that side of the room has more optimism." Walter set down a tray of rolls and sighed. "I've never trusted left-side optimism." The Good Neighbor Social was especially important that week because the board planned to announce the winner of the Golden Apron just before dessert. The leading favorites were Margot, because she had organized the community garden cleanup, Ruth Palmer, because she had driven 3 neighbors to medical appointments during the month, and Teddy Lawson, because he had repaired the broken bird bath and then refused reimbursement with such public modesty that everybody became slightly emotional. Teddy Lawson, age 77, was a retired postal inspector with cardigan vests, careful diction, and a dry sense of humor that often arrived half a second late and then stayed in the room longer than expected. He believed most contests were ridiculous, but he still showed up to all of them, which made him the kind of man retirement communities tend to adopt as local weather. At 10:10 a.m., while the volunteers were setting out fruit cups and debating whether paper daisies looked festive or juvenile, the first strange thing happened. Ruth Palmer, 78, former church secretary and reigning champion of efficient side dishes, marched into the lobby holding a dish towel in one hand and announced, "The apron is gone." The room went still. Phil nearly stepped off the chair. Margot froze mid-napkin fan. Elise closed her eyes. Harriet turned toward the glass case in the hallway where the golden apron had been displayed all week beside the bulletin board. The middle shelf was empty. Only a clean apron-shaped outline remained in the dust, along with a single wrapped butter mint and what looked suspiciously like a speck of bright blue glitter. "Gone as in moved?" Elise asked hopefully. "Gone as in not there," Ruth replied. "Which is the unhelpful version of gone?" Within minutes, a ring of residents had formed around the trophy case. Howard Wilkes squinted at the lock. Mrs. Brenner put one hand to her pearls. Somebody whispered, "I knew this day would come," though nobody explained what exactly had been predicted. Harriet stepped closer and examined the case. "No broken glass," she said. Walter pointed at the buttermint. "That means whoever took it is either careless or over 65. That narrows the suspect pool to the population of this building," Harriet said. Elise looked stricken. "I had the case key on the reception counter earlier while I was making name tags." Walter nodded grimly. "Ah, administrative innocence. A classic accelerant." Because Harriet was sensible and Walter was curious, and because retirement communities appoint leadership based on calm posture more often than any official vote, the two of them found themselves immediately drawn into an informal investigation. Margot insisted on helping. Ruth insisted on helping more. Phil insisted that he would help only if someone took over the banner before it became emotionally worse. The first step was to figure out who had been in the hall around the time the apron disappeared. Elise made a list. Ruth, Margot, Phil, Teddy Lawson, Beverly Marsh from the Knitting Circle, Carl Jensen dropping off raffle tickets, Dottie Price looking for the restroom she somehow still forgot every month, and a new resident named Glenn from Oak Building, who had spent the morning wandering in a polite but suspiciously available way. Glenn turned out to be a retired accountant from Indiana with a perfect side part and the anxious expression of a man who feared retirement might involve more group enthusiasm than he had originally budgeted for. "I saw the apron earlier," Glenn said when questioned. "It looked festive in a municipal kind of way." "Did you see anyone near the case?" Harriet asked. Glenn frowned. "A woman in yellow. Or cream. Possibly oatmeal. I'm weak on the beige family." This described at least 12 women and one cardigan. The first clue emerged at 10:34, when Walter noticed a small smear of metallic yellow paint on the edge of the hallway door leading to the card room. "Well now," he said, "either our culprit clipped the frame, or someone's craft project has ambitions." Harriet bent down and found, near the baseboard, a tiny blue sequin star. Margot gasped. "That belongs to Shirley Evans." Shirley Evans, age 72, former beauty salon owner and current queen of decorative accessories, wore enough sparkle to be visible from neighboring counties and made no apology for it. When confronted, she received the accusation with theatrical offense. "Yes, that is my sequin star," she said, examining it between manicured fingers. "They fall off everything I own. If I were stealing the golden apron, I would at least use a better hiding strategy than glitter."